Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's kind of a request video. I was chatting to somebody in a comment on one of their videos because they had done a Retaliation Commando based on the one I did. I'll link his stuff in the description. Go and have a look because he's done a heck of a lot more with that character than I did, I think. But what he was talking about was understanding retaliation damage, like, you know, what buffs it and does it scale with attributes. So what I've done, this was another character I've run around and kept at a low level. Killed a bunch of stuff, got some money, bought all this stuff from the shop. How long have I been playing this character? 35 minutes. 35 minutes, and with a bit of boss farming, well, not boss farming, boss area farming, picking stuff up, selling stuff and going crazy farming this guy. The whole point of this is demonstrating retaliation damage. There's the boss weapon from What's His Face. I took this off the other character because they had this one with the physical to ether conversion. I want to demonstrate that. Right, so what you do to get retaliation damage stuff is you go into this guy, put retaliation in. Yeah, that's the stuff I sold him because it wasn't as good as the stuff I had. Right, so then you go somewhere else. You wait. Kill a few guys. Doesn't matter. It's usually just count to 5 and go back. Yeah, most of those 35 minutes were doing this. There you go. Right, so gloves with 9 on. I think I've got gloves with 11 on. So you could see these things are only like a few hundred to buy. So it doesn't cost much. 8. I've got better stuff. Right, so what you've got to do is you've got to, if you want to look at your retaliation damage that you're dealing, it's on tab 3. It's a whole load set up here. You can see all my retaliation's all 0. Yeah. Like I said. Right. So we'll have a look at this. That's got no retaliation damage on it, but we'll equip it for now. Just because I'm going to stand in the middle of a bunch of enemies. But right, physical damage retaliation 12, so I'll go up to 12. That's got 11 on it. It's gone up to 23. They've got 11 on. It's gone up to 34. That's got 5 on it. Best I could get. 39. Yeah, I can't equip that yet. Can't equip those. Should have that 43. That's going to make a big difference. Shoulders, I'll show you where to get them in a sec because there's guaranteed set of retaliation shoulders as a quest. It's part of a quest. It's not a quest reward, but you get it from the thing that you're looking for. So I'm now doing 39 physical retaliation. All right. Let's get rid of that. Right. So watch now. I just stand there. They hit me. They take damage. He's quite tough. So you can equip retaliation damage from the start of the game, and it's it's reasonably effective. What helps is if you're hitting them as well. I'll try this bunch in this house. There's 3 that come out of the ground here every time. Because they're a bit useless, their chance to hit me isn't that great. I mean, you can have a look at that. Their chance to hit 76%. It'll only, the lowest it'll go is 60. So don't worry about pumping your defensive ability up. It's not like they won't be able to hit you. It's just they won't hit you as frequently as if it was lower. So that's that. Now, what I was going to show you was so the physical damage is 39. If you put cunning up and it doesn't go up, it doesn't scale like normal physical damage. Yeah, and it doesn't scale off spirit, 39, and of course it doesn't scale off physique, because physique doesn't buff any damage type, 39. Right, I'm going to put all my points in physique anyway, so I can equip some of the stuff. Well, I can't equip that yet, I need 140 something, so I can't even equip that. I'll level up a bit and do a bit more of this. So there's 14 physical damage on there, so my physical damage, there you go, so it goes up from 39 to 53. I've got about 3 armor, might as well put that on, and I've got this thing. Now, attributes do not scale retaliation damage at all. So really, if you're going to concentrate on doing retaliation, you want to pump it all into your defensive ability, because you're going to be standing there getting hit. If you're going to be doing attacks as well, which I recommend, you do want to have some kind of an attack. Otherwise, there's certain enemies that you can't damage. Caster mages, for example. Offensive ability, yeah, you need to get that up a little bit, right, but not as a priority. This thing, look at this now, that does 15% physical damage converted to ether damage. It doesn't specify that it converts retaliation damage. You won't find anything specifically converting retaliation damage, I don't think, because normal damage conversion converts it. So physical's 53 and ether is 0. Right, so I'm going to equip this thing. Physical's dropped to 45. What do you think's happened to ether? Oh look, I'm doing some ether retaliation damage. So you can do all sorts of interesting things when you realise that damage conversion converts your retaliation damage. It means you can convert all of one type of retaliation damage to another. So maybe you've just got one, so maybe you've just got physical retaliation damage, or bizarrely you could just have ether retaliation damage. You know, Death Knights are go. And then when you come to devotions, you'll see there's quite a few, ignore the pet thing, there's quite a few constellations that mention retaliation damage. Ones that you want to look at, Messenger of War has got a retaliation damage skill on it. Although it says fire retaliation, you could convert that to physical damage if you want with an item. There's a sword called Beranath Reforged that converts all elemental damage to physical. So if you were running around on a physical damage retaliation character and you thought that's not going to be any use, yeah, you get a weapon or get something that will convert that fire damage, that fire retaliation to physical. This thing over here is pretty good. Damage absorption and a percentage buff to all retaliation damage. Actually, that says physical damage retaliation, so yeah, let's get rid of that. There you go, that's better. Putting retaliation damage, that didn't appear because it didn't actually say retaliation damage, it said damage retaliation, fair enough. Yeah, physical damage retaliation. See that, there's a lot of things in the game that do, if you look at what that says, 10% of retaliation damage added to attack. So that means when this thing starts spinning around, it incorporates some of your retaliation damage. So if you've got retaliation damage really high, and then you'll get a percentage of it added into that attack. The Oathkeeper has got all sorts of skills and things that incorporate retaliation damage into attack damage. Soldier has as well. So if you have a look at Counter-Strike is look at a retaliation skill, but it's got an attack on it, 3% of retaliation damage added to attack. So the attack, because retaliation damage isn't an attack, it's not classified by the game as an attack, so things that get triggered by an attack won't get triggered by pure retaliation damage. But if you've got an attack like this that incorporates retaliation damage, it will use retaliation damage to increase the damage that it does, but it's also classified as an attack. So your Oathkeeper, this Aegis of Mania thing, where does it say it? Must say it on there somewhere. There it is, look. 12% of retaliation damage added to attack, and I believe that will go up. Can I get to that? now I can't even put the points in to demonstrate, but yeah, that will go up. So the more points you put in there, the more percentage of retaliation damage gets added in. I'm going to nip up to Foggy Bank Rift, this one, and show you where the quest reward retaliation shoulders are. Okay, here I am approaching the Foggy Bank Rift for the first time. I won't bother getting the quest, I'll just show you where the target item is. So from that Foggy Bank Rift you just run west, stay as north as you can. And there's a bit of a hidden area you have to go into. As long as you stay north you'll be alright. Here we go, this is it here. It's not hidden, I mean it still shows up on the map, it's just it's not exactly the easiest place to find. So there's a stump, if you got the quest, well there's two, it's not this one, it's the other one, right, it's not that one. There's always this stump, if you got the quest there'll be a star on it. So if you click on that, dogs out, they're going to just, right, my retaliation damage is taking them out, so that's a good example of, ooh, I'm almost dead. Come on in. Leveled up, rock and roll, right. So it's that thing there, Isaac's Spaulders. So Isaac's Spaulders are only ever in there once. So the first time you click on that stump, you'll get these things. Ta-da! And they've always got retaliation damage on them. They're a good item actually. Even if you're not into retaliation damage, go and get them because they're probably going to be better than any shoulders you picked up so far if you're only level 7 when you get here. Right, so my retaliation damage is now physical 70. I could ditch that actually, and it would go physical's 83. So that thing. So if I'm thinking, oh, I don't want it converted to ether, just watch it. If you're doing physical damage and physical retaliation damage, and you've got things that are physical retaliation damage specifically, you don't really want it converting away. Because I haven't got anything specific, or if you have got a resistance reduction, so say if you're playing soldier and you're using Warcry, that reduces your target's physical resistance for 5 seconds. So if you're using Warcry and you're using that to reduce their physical resistance, don't go converting all your damage to elemental or ether. All the usefulness of that will be reduced quite dramatically. So yeah, I mean you can play retaliation from early on. I'd suggest not doing that. I'd suggest level up on something else, something that's easier and quicker to level up on, unless you want to challenge yourself. I mean you can get all this, I proved it, you can get all this retaliation, especially that's real good, you can get this retaliation gear early on. If you're not in a rush to clear stuff out, you can go and stand in groups of enemies. I mean, let's go and... There were a load of slith chasing me around up here. I'll go and stand in there and let them hit me. One finger over the health pot button. See if you... What you've got to do, health regen and retaliation work well together. So you've got to prioritise health regen. If you're going to be standing in the middle of everyone, and it's not worth thinking, oh well, attack damage converted to health. Remember, retaliation damage isn't an attack, so attack damage converted to health isn't going to do you much good. See, look, he's casting. He's not doing melee attacks. He's a caster. So you need to be able to hit him. My retaliation damage wasn't damaging him. However, there's a devotion down here with this skill on it. Fetid, whatever pool, chance when hit. It's not a melee hit, it's any hit. And it incorporates retaliation damage into the attack that it deals. So what happens then, if a caster hits you, that's got a chance of having a like an orange pool of glop, or green, can't remember what colour it is, orange I think, underneath them, which then deals a percentage of your retaliation damage. So that's a good one to get. But there's better ways of incorporating attack damage into a retaliation build. But that's my low level one. And hopefully that's explained what retaliation damage is and how it works. And how you can buff it. Buy stuff that buffs retaliation damage. if you look at that there, not that one, this one, that soldier exclusive skill plus 25% to all retaliation damage, that goes up the more points you put in it. Demolitionist has got retaliation stuff on it. That's a retaliation thing, plus 14% to all retaliation damage. I think that's got fire retaliation on it. Again, you can convert that fire retaliation to physical or something else if you want to. As a quick-ish overview of retaliation damage, what it is and how it works, there's that. I'll link my retaliation commando stuff in the description. That goes into a heck of a lot more detail and talks a lot more about health, regen and stuff. Hope you enjoyed that video. Catch you all in the next one.